What is up, everybody, and welcome back. So last time we left Ryuji, he was in, well, a completely impossible situation. We're talking the final match, and he's staring down the undisputed #1 prodigy, Leon, whose partner just unleashed a terrifying Stage 2 evolution. I mean, the fight hasn't even started, and it already feels totally over. But hey, this is the final round, so let's get right into Chapter 20. And yep, right off the bat, Leon just lays it out there. That is the tone he's setting. It's pure, absolute, unshakable confidence. To him, this isn't even a real fight. It's just a formality. He sees Ryuji as some kind of joke that's gone on way too long, and he is here to deliver the final punchline. You really have to understand the insane power gap we're looking at. A Stage 2 Dream Link? That's something most students are lucky to hit when they're much, much older. But Leon, at just 12 years old, is already playing in a totally different league than any other first year. The sheer pressure coming off his steel-winged Griffin Alpha is literally suffocating. It's enough to make most opponents just give up on the spot. But while every single eye in the stadium is glued to this terrifying monster in the sky, something is happening down on the ground. Kamui, the lazy little silver puppy who's been basically napping his way through the tournament, his eyes snap open. And that sleepy, lazy look is just gone. It's replaced by this sharp, intense gaze of a true alpha, a king who's ready to defend his turf. Okay, let's just be real for a second. We're all thinking what's on the slide, right? A Stage 2 fully evolved super creature versus a puppy. I mean, it sounds like the start of a bad joke. In any normal fight, this would be over before it even began. But as we are all about to find out, this is anything but a normal fight. And boom, just like that, in a massive explosion of pure golden energy, Kamui transforms. That tiny little puppy just erupts into this magnificent 1-meter-tall battle wolf. And check this out. The really interesting thing here is the color of his lightning. It's not the usual blue we've seen. No, this is a pure, radiant gold, and that tells you a completely different level of power is being unleashed. And here is the reason why. Kamui has just activated his unique talent, Light of Hope. This thing is an absolutely legendary ability that does something incredible. It literally turns pure willpower, just raw fighting spirit, into actual physical power. And because Ryuji's will to win is so perfectly in sync with Kamui's, the effect is doubled. Ryuji's fear is completely gone, replaced by this burning courage that is now making him physically stronger and faster. But, Leon, he is not impressed. To him, a powered-up puppy is still just a puppy. With a simple wave of his hand, he calls for the finishing blow. His Griffin unleashes its heavenly punishment Thunder Spear, a massive, super-condensed pillar of platinum lightning designed to just vaporize anything it touches. This isn't a normal attack. This is a one-hit kill move. Now, any sane person would be running for their life, right? But Kamui, he doesn't even flinch. He leaps directly into the path of this catastrophic blast, opens his jaws wide, and gets ready to meet it head on. The crowd, the announcers, everybody just holds their breath. What in the world is he thinking? And in that single instant, every single person watching this fight, including the super cool, unflappable Leon, has the exact same reaction. Just pure, unfiltered shock. This is the moment that just breaks everyone's brain. That entire pillar of destructive energy, a Stage 2 ultimate level attack, it just gets eaten. It literally twists, compresses, and gets sucked into Kamui's mouth like a piece of spaghetti. It's not blocked, it's not deflected, it is consumed. And Ryuji does not let this moment of pure shock go to waste. While Leon is still trying to process what in the world he just saw, Ryuji, who is now just a blur of golden light thanks to that power-up, closes the distance in an instant. He's not just attacking, he's sending a message, slamming his blade into Leon and forcing the untouchable prodigy onto the defensive for the first time. And just like that, the entire dynamic of this fight has been flipped completely on its head. Leon's greatest weapon, his overwhelming lightning, is totally useless. He's forced into a close-quarters brawl against Ryuji and Kamui, who are pressing their advantage with this perfectly coordinated, ferocious assault. The hunter has officially become the hunted. They're pressing the advantage and going for the finisher. Syncing up perfectly, they unleash their ultimate combo. Secret art, Thunder Wolf Fangs Slash. A colossal wolf head made of pure golden energy just materializes and bites down with arena-shattering force. This has to be it. This looks like checkmate. But then, from out of the smoke and rubble, Leon's voice rings out. And it's not a voice of pain, but excitement. The attack was blocked. And for the very first time, the look in Leon's eyes isn't arrogance. It's genuine respect and, thrilling curiosity. He's finally found someone worth fighting. And this right here is why Leon is the best. He instantly analyzes the situation. His lightning doesn't work? Fine. He ditches his primary weapon without a second thought and switches tactics. He orders Alpha into all physical mode, converting all of its elemental energy into just raw, kinetic power and defensive hardness. And just like that, the tide turns. Again. Without the gimmick of being able to eat lightning, Ryuji is now stuck in a pure physical brawl against a 12-year-old prodigy and his massive Stage 2 partner. The gap in age, in physical development, in raw power, it's just too much. Leon begins to systematically take apart Ryuji's offense, pushing him back with overwhelming force and skill. Okay, let's hit pause right there. The momentum just swung back and forth like crazy. To really get how Ryuji pulled off that incredible comeback, and more importantly, how Leon shut it down so fast, we need to do a little deep dive. Because this isn't just about punching harder, it's a true battle of fighting philosophies. This slide here breaks it down perfectly. On the left, you've got Leon's power. We can call it the king's path. It's refined, it's overwhelming. It's the logical result of genius meeting hard work. It's predictable because it's already perfect. But on the right, you have Ryuji's power, the wild card's gambit. It's an anomaly, something unpredictable that shouldn't even exist, all fueled by a miracle bond. So the first miracle here was Light of Hope. This is that legendary power that let them close the raw stat gap. By converting their synchronized fighting spirit directly into strength and speed, they were able to temporarily punch at a weight class way, way above their own. But the true key, the silver bullet that turned this whole fight upside down, was this: absolute gluttony. And this isn't a technique Kamui learned. It's an innate, passive trait he was born with. He can just eat energy. This one ability completely hard-countered Leon's entire fighting style and forced the genius to either adapt or lose right then and there. And this right here is what separates the good fighters from the truly great ones. Look at how this genius adapts. Step 1, his best attack is nullified. He doesn't panic. Step 2, he analyzes. He instantly gets that he's not facing a stronger element, but some kind of unique anomaly. Step 3, he pivots, completely switches from elemental to physical combat. And finally, step 4, he exploits the most basic weakness he can find, the fact that Ryuji is just a kid in a smaller, weaker body. That entire 4-step process probably took him 2 seconds. That, my friends, is genius. And as Ryuji is getting beaten back, Kamui delivers the most brutal line of the entire chapter, just in his own head. He admits that Leon is strong, a true master. But then he says the fundamental reason they're losing isn't because the opponent is a genius, it's because his own partner, Ryuji, is simply too weak. And that is where we leave it. Ryuji's 2 trump cards, his 2 miracles, have been played and they've been countered. He's been pushed to the absolute edge of the ring, and his own partner has just called him fundamentally too weak to win. Against a genius who can adapt to any trick you throw at him, what comes next when you've got absolutely nothing left in the tank? Well, we're gonna have to find out next time.